Alright my dudes, what is going on? This is another entry in the saga of what BMX shoes should I ride in, what BMX shoes should I buy. This is going to be the first one for this shoe, but I think this might be the end of the saga because I finally am convinced that this shoe might be the best shoe for BMX, in my opinion. I know there's people out there who want to ride in all sorts of stuff, but this is just for me. It may help out. So without further ado, that shoe is going to be the Vans Half Cab Pro. Yeah. The Vans Half Cab with the Pop Cush sole. Like I've said in previous videos, I usually ride this, but then whenever I go to a Vans store, I end up gravitating towards the BMX shoe and generally getting a little let down because I just think the sole is a little bit too soft and wears through too fast. And it just kind of like, it's a little hit or miss, but I've ridden probably, I don't know, probably 20 or so pairs of half cabs over the past couple years of riding. The last pair that I was wearing, they lasted me about 4 months, which is actually really good for Vans and shoes in general, especially if you're doing a lot of tail whips and you're riding on metal pedals. So let me break down and explain why I like this shoe. First off, it's the profile. I like this mid height. It's not a high top, it's not a low top, it's a mid. That provides a ton of ankle protection, especially like for tail whips, spinning, or just bashing into the cranks. Like if you're riding a low top, for me, my ankles, I got big fat ankles, those tend to hit the cranks pretty hard. And then with high tops, when I'm pedaling or whatever, I just feel like it gets kind of caught up underneath as I'm coming around, like the crank kind of bites here and pulls them down, so not super comfortable. Does offer more protection, but you don't get that comfort, so I think this is a great middle ground for a riding shoe. Secondly, the sole of the shoe, it does take a couple sessions for it to wear in. This will be the first session that I ride in these. But right out of the box, they do feel pretty good. They are a bit stiff, but as soon as you get 5 or so sessions in it, it has that nice kind of bend and flexibility to it where you can really feel where your foot is on the pedal. And it lasts a while. Like, again, like I run metal pedals with metal pins, and that typically tears through shoes, especially the BMX Vans. But these waffle pattern, I mean, they perfected it first shot, so I wouldn't go around changing it. Like, there's just so much for your pedal to bite on and grip into, and it lasts a while. And then the Pop Cush sole, I know this isn't like unique to the half cab, but with everything else, with the protection from the sides, and this siding too, I don't know what they've done, but my last pair lasted a really long time. Typically when I do tail whips and stuff over time, the side of the shoe on my right foot, which is what I catch with, tears away really quick, but they seem to be lasting a while, so I love that. But so with the grippiness of the sole and the protection and the height and the profile and stuff, the Pop Cush insole, it's just icing on the cake. Like, it feels good when you land flat. You can put your foot down and stuff and it doesn't hurt. Like, I haven't really bruised my heel in a long time, especially when riding with these, so great. And like, so that's the specifics about the shoe itself. The last two things I really like is the price point. They're about, you can find like funky color ones on sale for like 65 bucks, but these ones, because they're cool color, they were like 80, which isn't bad. And then you can basically get them anywhere. Like PacSun will have them, Zoomies will have them. The skate shop right around the corner from House Park has them. That's where I got these. Like, they're everywhere. So if you find this and you really like it, and say you're on a trip or whatever and you blow out a pair of shoes, you'll easily be able to find them, so because they're easily accessible and available. So we're gonna ride around, get a couple clips, kind of walk through why I love these and what I'm feeling while I'm riding. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope this video is insightful for you. So here we go. I'll let you need to put it back on my foot. Alright, so like I said just now, a few seconds ago, one of the things I really love about half cabs is the sole and how much they grip. So we're gonna do a couple tricks where I take my feet off and put them back on, and hopefully I can showcase how well they're able to grip. So let's just do a couple of those clips real quick, and then we'll keep moving on to other stunts. So here we go, boys. I really can't emphasize enough how well this waffle sole on these shoes sticks to the pedals. Like, it feels like as soon as they like just touch my pedal or crank when I tail whip, I'll admit it, it just holds on and it just feels so nice and tight, like the bike's not going anywhere. So that's just great. Another thing this sole is good at, it's good at sliding. And I love Vader slides, especially in this point when they're pretty new and they're kind of harder, they slide a whole lot better. So to show that, we're just gonna do a beautiful Vader slide. It's hopefully no hops. It's gonna be great. So here it is. Oh my God.
It almost slid too good.
Might have done a couple correction hops, but this is a shoe review, not a Vader slide review. So they slide good. They slide great. Let's do some more stunts. The other thing I gotta note with these shoes, and the grip especially, even when you're not taking your feet off, they feel like they're stuck to the pedals, which feel great. And one of the tricks that I do a lot, as you guys know and have watched my channel, is the flare. And I like to feel like one ball just spinning around in the universe. So we're just gonna do a flare and just feel nice and tight and stuck to the pedals. And also I also land flat, so that's gonna be a true testament to the Popcush sole. So let's just knock out a quick flare and then move on to the next stunt testing round. Myth busted. Well, flare felt great, felt nice and attached to my bike, didn't feel like my feet were going anywhere. Now we're gonna do the toe test. And this is really specific and important, especially for you techie boys out there. If you like doing a lot of foot jams and foot jam variations, these are pretty good. Not the best, I still think. That's the one thing that the BMX Vans had, because they had like a nice kind of rubberized pad around the toe. But these still do the job, so to really put that to the test, we're just gonna do the old whip to foot jam whip glide. Yo, we did it! And see how bad it hurts my tootsies. So here we go, whip whiplash coming up for the shoe test. Not gonna lie, felt a little pressure on the tootsies, but overall not bad at all. That was my third go at it. I'll put the other ones in there now. For a big inertia trick like that, toes are fine. It's great. All right, earlier I mentioned like my catch foot, sometimes that's where the shoe malfunctions the most. Again, kind of like on the side, right here on the stitching. There's a way to avoid that and make your shoes last longer, but it requires you getting a new back wheel, so it depends on what you want to invest. But the thing is, so for me, I have right hand drive, so this is my right foot forward, so I catch tail whips with my right foot, but what happens is when I catch, the shoe, if I can get it, makes contact with the chain in the sprocket, which is right on the stitching, which is facing down, so this tends to pull up. But like I said, they must have done something. Like, the materials feel pretty good. I wouldn't say, maybe a little bit better, but that's where they're gonna probably tear on you if you are riding. But again, the way to avoid that is if you're right foot forward, switch to a left hand drive wheel, and then your sprocket will be on the other side, so you won't run into that issue. A weird fix, not a permanent fix, but a decent fix for it. So just something to toss around in your noggin. All right, for the last test in this shoe review, I mentioned the Popcush sole. It's great for impacts. Nothing's more impactful and bigger shock than a fly-out backflip. I don't care if you jump El Toro, a fly-out backflip is way harder on your soles than anything in this world. So we're gonna do that, then we'll conclude the review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my clothing company, lynbmx.com, link down below. And if you want a bicycle like this, go to timetoshinebmx.com, link is also below. So let's do a little fly-out backie right there. Here we go.